Good morning. We're back up on the mountain again today. I need to go to the lumber store, but before we can do that, we got to get all the tools out. So let's get that done. All right, that'll do it. We got the truck all cleaned out. Let's go to the lumber store. It is a super nice day out today. It's about 53 degrees, sunny. The ground is nice and dry. Perfect day to go working. Takes a little while to get off of the mountain. There's a few switchbacks and corners we have to go around, but it's not too bad. It's a really pretty drive to the store. It's not that far either. Maybe 4 miles, 3 miles, something like that. Occasionally we have these suicidal squirrels that run across the road. You gotta... Perfect. So we need 12 2x6x10s and 9 2x6x8s. So let's get those loaded up. All right, we have 11 of these 2x6x10s. We have 9 2x6x8s, and we have a couple decking boards, the 10-foot variety. We're pretty limited on what the mini truck can carry, so we'll say this is enough. All right, so we are just absolutely overloaded. Perfect. So in the mini truck, there's 2 ways to know that you're overloaded. One is when the back tires look flat. We're not there yet. And the other is when the front wheels come off the ground. We're not there yet either. So we're loaded about perfect. Let's get back to the mountain. So far, so good. We don't have to get on any big roads, so that's a good thing. But they are pretty much all uphill. And we'll just stay in low gear and everything will be fine, maybe. So we made it. We just have to get up this mountain and we're good. Feels like just about straight up. All right, just like that, we're back at the job site. All the lumber's still in the truck, right where we had it. All of our tools are still here. Let's get to work. So the other day when we were here, we put these foundations in underneath most of the existing joists. I did put this one in 24 inches from the edge. And the reason I did that is there were tree roots over here. I didn't want to have to deal with those. And it's also going to work out. This is where we're going to have a joist where the trailer tire is going to be. That's going to give us a little bit some more support right where we need it. So I think we should start out putting this joist in and putting those back 2 corner legs in to make sure everything's nice and squared up. And then we'll put in all the joist supports. We don't know. Let's just get started. So I tried to strategically load the lumber into the mini truck so we would take it out of the truck in the order we need it, so we don't have to move it twice. Which means we have all of our 2x6x10s on top. Those will be our floor joists. And we probably already messed up that plan, but let's get to it. Now with any kind of luck, these will just fit right in here. All right, so that has our floor joist over our foundation. Let's go ahead and put all the cross supports in here before we put those other floor joists in, or we'll have to keep climbing over them all the time. Sounds like a plan. So I think what we're going to do is just put a 2x6 up on edge all the way down to the concrete pad. And it doesn't have to be exact, but it needs to be about 26.5. Yeah, I know, that's pretty exact. And I think we'll just work right out of the back of the mini truck. And we'll just shoot that in place. We need to get an even measurement so we can put all these in exactly the same spot. So let me get my tape measure. I think what we're going to do is from that front edge, we're going to go 5 feet in and make a mark. Now this is one of the sistered up joists, so we're going to put a 2x6 on either side. It's going to give us a better chance at getting full support on those joists. So let's do that. 28.5. Now our scrap of wood is 41 inches, and if I cut it at 28.5, I'm not going to have much left, but we're going to do it anyway. All right, that has all of our intermediate legs started. Now we can hang some 2x6x8s between all of these, and that will support all of our floor joists. So I think we can get away with one clamp right there to hold that up. That didn't work out well. All right, so we'll use this clamp to support the next board, and we'll shoot it on over there. out of nails. Isn't that always the way it goes? It's good if you can get in the habit of bringing a stick of nails every time you shoot a couple boards. That way you don't run out. And this thing will hold about 2.5 sticks. All right, the next step is to cut some 2x6s to fill in underneath these, right between these two 2x6s all the way to the concrete. We'll nail them in there, and that will fully support the weight of anything that you put on top. Okay, that takes care of all of our center support bracing all the way across. That's not going to go anywhere. Now we could either finish putting all of our joists in or work on those legs way down the hill. I think we're going to work on the joists. It's just easier. Yeah, pine tree coming through. All right, just like that, we have all the joists done. So here's what it looks like with the spacing. Looks good enough for the girls we date. Now all these joists are fully supported on the back edge. They're also supported in the middle. But up here in the front, they're only shot into the fascia board. So we need to add some blocks on both sides of those joists up front, just to secure it a little bit. So we're going to need 18 blocks to shore up all of those joists. They don't have to be very long, just as high as the joist is. And the good thing is we can use up all this little scrap wood laying around. Nothing goes to waste. So 18 boards at 6 inches each. Check. So I only have enough scraps right now for about 13 boards. I don't want to cut any of the good boards yet because we have some more building to do and we'll have more scraps. So let's put these in place and then we'll come back and do something else. So this should be pretty easy. We just take this board. Oh, I think I'm going to put them this way. All right, that wasn't a lot of work, but it did take a lot of nails and the air compressor is running a lot. It's noisy out here. So here's what we ended up with. We have this block shot into the fascia board. Then we shot 3 nails through the joist into this board. Then we shot this on with 4 nails to the fascia board. Then we shot 3 nails in that way. There is no way that joist is ever coming apart. So we got most of them finished all the way to down there. We're missing like 3 blocks. We'll add those on later. There's no reason to do any blocking on the far end. We have a joist support underneath all of those. So that should be good. Let's work on those dreaded back legs. They're long and I don't know, we'll figure it out. So we need to put a pair of legs, one in this corner and one in that corner, all the way down to the concrete pad that we poured yesterday. And then we're going to have to put some side bracings so that thing doesn't get all wobbly out there. It only sticks out about 5 feet, but you don't want a wobbly 5 feet. All right, let's figure out how long our legs need to be. I'm about 6 feet tall. Well, I'm 6'2", so let's take this much off, and that's what it needs to be. Actually, let's use a tape measure to be sure. Looks like 55 and an 8. So I think we're going to build these legs just like the last one, which means completely different than every other leg that we've done so far. We're going to take a 20-inch piece of 2x6 and we're going to put it in here to double up this corner. And I think we need that just because the way that it is. Also give it some nails on the outside. And then we're going to take those longer boards we just spoke about. We don't know. We're going to put them something like this. And we'll take the other board and throw it along the outside. Maybe we should have done that one first. Get it all locked in. And we'll say that's good enough. All right, so what we have out here on the outside is a 2x6 holding up the outside ledger board and a 2x6 holding up the 5-foot joists. They're shot together and they terminate on a concrete pad. Yeah, I know it's not quite centered on the concrete, but it's good enough. Let's do the same thing over here. All right, we're going to do the right thing and make this leg just like that one. Perfect. Come back here. Get in there. Make sure we're level-ish. Well, not quite. Does it really matter if it's level? Probably not. We also have a tree in the way. This guy. We should do the right thing and pull out the chainsaw and take care of it. But we're not going to. All right, that takes care of two corner legs that are mostly the same. I think they're level. Yeah, it looks pretty level. Let's check it the other way. That's level enough. All right, we got to put a little bit of cross bracing out here so it's not janky. Perfect. So we're going to end up putting a joist support across this back, and I want to make sure that these cross braces don't get in the way. Let me. Uh-oh, we're out of nails again. You know, it would be worth having a helper up here just to bring me nails for the nail gun. All right, a couple sticks of nails. I also forgot my screw gun. So all these temporary supports, we don't have a way to take them off. All right, making headway. So that has our wobble joists completed. It's nailed into the legs really low. Let's see if we can give it a shake. Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. Now I don't think I need any over here. I don't really have a good place to hook them on anyway. This isn't going to go anywhere. All right, next up we need a ledger board here in the back to hold the joists up. I already have it cut. It's this 2x6 by 104 1/4, and it should fit right inside here. And I put a clamp over here to balance the thing. That should work about like you expect. Uh-oh. Miscalculated. Hold on. Almost messed that up. The idea here is to get it the same height as the other joists. What I'm going to do is keep one nail right here. And then pick this side up. Out of air. Perfect. Now this will allow all the joists that go across here and on this side to be fully supported. That's the plan anyway, we'll see. So our last step in framing this deck is to shoot on these joists on this outside edge. Man, gotta be a contortionist around here. We also got to shoot this end in. I think we're gonna shoot it from the other side. Oh my goodness. You got to be a contortionist around here. Contortionist, is that the right word? If it means crawl on your hands and knees, that would be it. All right. I think we just shoot these through the back side. It's not like we're launching rockets or anything. Almost good enough. All right, that'll take care of all the framing on this deck, except for those 3 blocks we forgot up at the front. So we're gonna take care of those right now. So this is what they call a bright, meaning, well, you didn't quite hit the wood with it. We're gonna do the right thing and just put another nail in there. All right, well that finishes up all the decking on the, well, at least everything below the decking boards. Let me show you real quick. Don't worry about that 2x6 laying on top. It's just laying there, it's extra. So I added some backfill boards to the front because we're gonna dump gravel in here and we don't want it to like slide underneath the deck. We added all of our blocking along the front. We put all of our joists in. We put all of our middle supports in today. We actually put the legs on our back corner decks. We put the sway braces on it, and we went ahead and put the joists in there also. I didn't bring my screw gun to take off those temporary supports, but we'll be back out. We can do that later. The next project is going to be get a whole bunch of decking boards and cover this thing up. Let me show you what the differences are. So in the nail gun, we've been using these 3 1/4 inch smooth shank nails. We're going to switch over to this 2 3/4 inch ring shank nails. I don't know if you can see that, but those will hold the decking boards down much better. We have to reload our nail gun for that. I went ahead and picked up 2 10-foot decking boards because I knew I wanted to put a couple down. And we're going to start out there in that 9-foot wide section and put 2 boards, 1 and 2. What that's going to do is help me measure for how many more boards we're going to need. I know each board is less than 6 inches, but I don't know how big it really is. So we'll put 2 together, see how much space that covers, and then add it all up. Something like that. All right, normally we'd want all these tags on the end that we're going to cut off down there, but this first board had a knot on that end, and we don't want that. So we'll pluck these tags off later. Now our 8-foot decking is going to come right up to this edge. So we want to start this one just past it. And I'm going to put 1 nail here in the corner as far in as I can and angle it back out. Did that make any sense? Probably not. We're going to do the same on this next board. I can tell we have a little bit of a angle going, but it's okay. Now we'll go to the other end and push it into alignment. And that's it. We just do a whole bunch more of it. Now, if these boards were going to be an outside deck, I'd put 3 nails in each board. But since it's going to be inside, we can come back later and do that if we think we need to. I was going to take a saw and cut the end off right now, but I think we're going to wait till we get all the boards on here, snap a chalk line at the end, and cut it one time. That seems to make a lot more sense. And all of this inside decking shouldn't need any cuts at all because we went ahead and went 8 feet to a sister up joist, 8 feet to sister up joist, 8 feet to the end. So God willing, it'll all work out. Probably not. Well, we're gonna do the first walk on our deck. Doesn't feel very shaky. We're on our decking boards. Yeah, this is nice. Obviously, we have some tree trimming to do. Got some sticks in here. Also, this pine tree, I'm still thinking about cutting it down. But in order to get this pine tree down, we have to cut this tree too. And they all have to go down the hill. That'll be a fun project. We'll get that some other time. All right, so there's a view from the outside corner of the deck. Looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna sit here on the new deck, drink some water, and do some quick back of the napkin calculations on how many decking boards we need to finish this project. But you guys don't have to sit here and watch that. Get outside, do something fun, come back and tell me about it.